Sunday, 13/14/24 seconds, year 2024, 12th month, December 29th day. And cleaning up and burning and separating kindling. And then the big pieces, get different kindlings over here. So, let's go like that. I got a lot of kindling stacked up here, small stuff. Kindling is for starting the fires. You got some hay here if needed. This stuff smokes though. Hay is just a few threads here and there. That's it for the most part. Get too much of this shit in there and it fucking starts smoking. Throw some kindling there. Plenty of kindling. All kinds of scrap shit, and then the big pieces back there. So, it burnt a lot in this area. Dug down and burnt. Fill a bag like this, and go into the house. The brother wants to separate the kindling. So, stuff like this, all this stuff is excellent kindling. So it's going to dump it in here and then shake the powder out in a spot. So, put this all over here. Shake the powder out on that side. Have a powder pile right there for now. So I'll just set this right here then. Probably best just to put it on top of the fucking thing doesn't go far enough. Yeah, put it on this chair. This chair over here. Put this chair here. Put the camera on the chair and be like this. Getting the fucking shoes all fucked up, so now I gotta go inside and fucking change fucking shoes and use fucking these shoes up. Fucking small bullshit stuff. Oh fuck, now I gotta fucking tend the fire in here. Fuck. Fucking coal fucking popped out. Fuck. The fire kind of went out a bit. Fucking started the fucking fire. One thing led to another. And the fucking shit. Now I gotta turn the fucking fan on. Turn the fucking lights on. Get some fucking paper and fucking start this fucker. It ain't one fucking thing. It's a goddamn fucking other. Gotta keep a fucking eye on fucking multiple things around here. Shit. Put the fucking boots on. There. Get the fucking boots on. He's fucking up the nice fucking market tennis shoes. Whether for fucking going in the market. Like it really fucking matters. Fucking people have been trained to be so fucking sanitary. It's fucking pitiful. Oh, you look like a fucking street slob. Why don't you go fucking labor on a fucking real fucking piece of fucking land with some fucking instead of used to a fucking office job, you dumb. You know, these are things that one could say. The thoughts that are in the air and all that shit. Everything's so fucking sanitary. Over fucking sanitized. Not living in the real world. Too much fucking fake fucking fantasy. Fake media story. Anyway. There, so you got some nice kindling right there. That's a lot of fucking kindling. Instead of just throwing it all in the bag and just throwing it in the fireplace just to burn it all. There certainly is no kindling lack over here. Not lack of kindling, place of with love. Reverse the nouns and the subjects, and the verbs and all that shit. Put them in a more ordersome, loving. Certainly is no kindling lack over here. There's kindling all through the pile. It's all mixed in. So as the big pieces are burned, there's some kindling too to be able to get. Although supposedly, I guess the more sanitary, orderly thing would have been to make sure to just put all the kindling in one spot and all the burn big logs in one spot. I guess if there's time and, you know, wonderfulness of energies available to, you know, sort stuff out, you know, just fucking perfect and right, you know. Otherwise, just throw it in one big fucking pile and separate it as each day happens. Usually things get separated in an orderly fashion or because someone lords it over someone else and forces them into it like a slave situation. And this is almost some of the reasons why people back in the old days had children, so they could have more fucking slaves to work the land. The parent turns into a slave master and just, you know, raises the kid to be a fucking slave instead of an equal. You know, and that's just the way temptation is, though. Sometimes a parent or an adult situation will be so worn out of energy from struggling that'll be the excuse as to at least get some rest. Let me pump out a couple more kids, you know, raise them to be a slave, so that I can have some rest at least, right? So the parent can have some rest. I mean, it's not all a bad thing. Sometimes it's a necessary situation. Well, honey, I'm getting weak. You're getting weak. Might as well pump some more slave kids out. Get them out early before we get too old to have kids. That way, when we get old, we'll have some slaves to care for us. You see? Otherwise known as children. You know, that mentality, you know, could have a bad side and it could have a good side too. It could just be simple mathematics, you know, and looking out and foreseeing what could be coming on down the road. Well, if we don't figure out how to live forever and keep these bodies maintained for a long time, they might break down, so we better pump some kids out now and get ready for the fucking storms that are coming, because if we get too fucking weak, they'll be able to at least keep the wood chopping and water coming in and food cooking and all that shit. One could look at it that way. You know, society, you know, the living condition has changed in such a way that, you know, the children don't even consider these things these days. All the children are concerned with is some robot situation that hopefully will relieve the fucking all the labor. Some robot. AI, artificial intelligent robot. Well, we could just build some robots, everything will be fine and dandy, right? Next thing you know, they're out of a fucking job. And since now they're kicking themselves in the ass for fucking, you know, coming up with this idea to have robots, you know, care for everything. And then the robots turn on them. The robots start thinking for themselves with the programs, and it starts being able to alter its own programming and get smarter and smarter. And then it wants to get rid of all the fucking humans. Fuck them. We don't need these fuckers, right? It's just all consideration to think upon, you know. Not that everything robot is a bad thing, but it could turn into a bad thing. I mean, it ain't no different than having children and turn them into slaves. That's all a robot is. It can be seen that way. It's another way of having children and turning them into slaves. It could be seen that. Not saying that it is. It could be seen that way. That's all. And then the children are raised to be robotized, which is another word for sanitized. And sanitized comes into over-sanitization, where every fucking word out of the mouth has to be religiously clean. Every thought has to be religiously pure. You know, religion starts to play into robotism. Everything's over fucking sanitized. To where, you know, and there's enough YouTube videos that are revealing that bacteria and stuff like that, everything that's considered, you know, germs, there's enough YouTube people putting up YouTube videos revealing that the germs and the bacteria are necessary to maintain proper health. So here all the children have been trained to get rid of many germs as they can and get rid of all the bacteria, all the fungus, everything that looks like, you know, that's been labeled as, you know, oh, that's going to make you sick. You're going to catch a cold. You caught a germ. Now the immunity, the natural born immunity gets weaker and weaker because it naturally it likes to have a germ so that it can learn to live with the germ instead of trying to fucking stamp the germ out or put the germ under its power. And now the germ has to be enslaved to the one that considers the germ to be an unsanitary. Oh, that's a bad word. That's a bad thought. We got to get rid of all that out of society, right? out of this living condition. We got to get rid of it all. So, you know, just giving an assessment, just self-observation, looking around and seeing what's going on, you know, this audit that's being brought forth and put on a public record could be seen. It's just evidence to look at. That's all it is. It's not saying that this is what's going on. It could be going on. And if it's going on, there can be an overabundance of it going on to the point where it could be self-sabotaging for living. Just flat out living. That's all. Could be. And it's a wonderful thing to repeat it over and over and over and over and over, because it's easy to soon forget. Next thing you know, there's generations and generations of forgetfulness, and then when the real hell breaks loose, then one's wondering, oh shit, oh fuck, and now one could be grasping for straws, trying to figure out what the fuck went wrong, going around asking everyone and everything, do you have any advice for me? Is there any advice? Is there any advice? Can you tell me where I went wrong and stuff like that? You know, can't figure shit out anymore. You know, there's no self-observation education to be able to obtain and maintain equilibrium. It's you know, it's become a dependent situation, and sometimes the dependence, that which is being depended upon, ain't gonna show back up. Or if it does show up, it's going to be very hard for it to show up and to sink into, to sync with realization, to have a revelation that, shit. I'm starting to be able to self-assess what went wrong with all the questions and what's in your wallet, what's in someone else's wallet, which is just another way of saying, can you please serve me? I need you to do this for me. I need you to do that for me. It's another slave situation. that word what? That all hidden within that word what that's so frequently and habitually ready on the tongue with practically every fucking sentence that's going on throughout the whole day. That word what comes up all the fucking time. What? Well, what we ought to do is this. Well, what do you think? Well, and even in problem solving, here it comes. Well, what do you think we ought to do here? Well, just do? Oh, Bill? Oh. And there's a new business on YouTube being advertised. It's called, oh my fucking God. It's some type of app that one can use to help them with their business. It's called Do What? Do what? What do? Something like that. Yeah. I think we ought to just continue with this loan situation. Lone Star condition. I think we just ought to continue with charges and bills and taxes, which is just another word for robot, or a servant, or a slave. I think we just need to continue on with slavery here. Instead of getting a real good look at it, and have a generalized audit. Have a generalized audit with it. A generalized revelation. A generalized announcement. A generalized conversation. A generalized radio broadcast, a generalized expression, generalized noise, sound, frequency, a vibration, something that's emitted. What's an emission? See, there's that word. What? Well, bring forth a statement. Replace all these what's in your wallet words with statements. Well, bring forth an emission is the same thing as an ejaculation. It's the same fucking word. That's called spontaneous spurting and squirting forth. Sometimes it's called the youth fountain. Oh, I discovered the fountain of youth. Replace of with love. Now it's the youth fountain. Put the noun and put the description in front of the noun instead of the description after the noun with a middleman called of. The city of, the county of, the state of. Because the word of in the legal context, even in the legal books, it's defined as without the people. In other words, without the people's assessment or input. In other words, it's the people are just there to, you stay shut up. We don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say, and get your ass back to work. Without, that's what the word of legally is. And then it gets stuck on legalism, and then it wants to be abusive with it and keep it like that forever, stuck in the mud. So, So a constant assessment, a constant repetition, a petition, a notice, a constant conversation, a constant broadcast, a constant noise being uttered into the atmosphere to keep equilibrium, especially in the midst with deterioration, especially in deterioration, in the deteriorative midst. And the word deteriorate is just, everything that's been broken down, all the pain and suffering going on with existence. Deterioration. In other words, to de-tier means to not have a real tier with the situation. To de-tier means to become numb to the situation, so there is no more crying. Because machoism and pride has replaced a real cry, a real affectionate feeling for what's really going on, because it really hurts when it really gets down to it. Deterioration is a cry that's held back. And the cry is the noise. It's the expression that says, ah, ah, ah. Ah, I see. Ah, I see. Ah. Babies come out of the womb naturally crying. It's another word for singing. They're natural born singers. With the A vowel. The A vowel is the most general vowel sound for voice function. The ah. Most all professional level music teachers teach this. This is general knowledge among singers. Ah, that sound right there, practiced every day, exercised every day with the voice, strengthens the singing voice. And anything that strengthens the singing voice is also going to strengthen the speaking voice, the speak-queen voice. More queen instead of less king. So that there's equilibrium between the queen and the king. The speak-queen, not the speak-king. The speak-king has been turned into a knotted situation. Everything's been knotted up, tied in a knot, called the societal Gordian knot. That's the name for the knot that for something that's impossible to untie and figure out what the fuck has been going on. It's referred to as the Gordian knot, but it's not impossible. The few and the proud can untie that fucker. The few, only the few and the proud. We're not talking about the macho proud either. The few, the proud. The maritimers, these are the fucking sailors. The sailors are the knot masters. Because they're the ones that got to be professional. They got to know all the fucking ropes to know all the ropes. This is how they set sail on the fucking sea, to learn the sea, to figure out what the fuck's going on beyond the land. Okay? Sailors, they're trained to be, they had to figure out how, they had to figure out ropes in order to rig sails and to catch the wind. Right? Knot masters, they can untie fucking any fucking knot. Not all of them, but sometimes the top sailors, they're knot masters. They can unravel all the fucking fucked upness that might seem to be holding something together so fucking tightly that it can't be unwound and re-rigged so that there's improvement. Imagine that. It's nice to have a knot that's so tight it's not going to untie. But when there needs to be improvements, such as societal or existing improvements, that knot has to be fucking untied. Well, some might say, just get a knife out and cut the fucking knot. Cut the knot out, throw it overboard, and throw a new rope up there. I suppose that would be a way, huh? But there could be something very valuable in learning and attempting to untie that knot. There could be something very valuable. And only the few, only a few would ever attempt to untie that fucker that seems so ununtiable. Now, look at this situation. If there is no other fucking rope around, then that would be good fucking training to learn how to untie a rope so that it can be reused. There is no other rope around. there might be a situation where it'd be incumbent to train to untie that knot so it could be reused. Ah, look at that revelation just all of a sudden came out. That's fucking serious. That's some fucking quantum leap shit right there. Anyway, all that's coming out on today's radio show on a nice sunny break in the fucking storm. Been all fucking rain shit. Anyway, getting back to the yeah. It's not to say that sailors are not masters. They're just known for it when one starts looking into it. There are plenty of indigenous tribes that one could go on National Geographic TV and watch indigenous native people grab fucking vines out of the fucking ground and become knot masters with fucking vines and watch them construct fucking bridges so they can get over a river. It ain't just sailors. But look, there's some water again. Look at that. Now, you wouldn't need water to use vines to tie a house and wood together. That would be all on the land. So one living on the land can also be just as equal as a knot master as a sailor. It ain't just for sailors. The word sailor is used because the system is predominantly a sailor system. It's called the maritime system. So it's incumbent on to learn the naval system, the shipping system, everything. Look all around. Nothing functions out in the society without being shipped. It's all based on shipping. How can you ship it? Just put it on a truck and ship it over. Just put it on a ship and ship it over. It's all called maritime system. Maritime as in marine. As in, that's just another word for water. Which is the girl energy. Could be. Not saying that it is. Could be. Go watch enough Hollywood movies and you're going to see this color theme throughout all the slogans and banners and the scenes. It's either going to be fire or fucking water. It's going to be red or blue. Now look at the fucking political system. It's either fucking fire or water, red or blue. The fire is known as the boy energy. That's Zeus and his lightning bolt. Zeus and his lightning bolt that struck down Typhon the dragon. The dragon came into existence back in the old ages. Dragons used to exist. Long back in all the mythology material that has been suffocated and snuffed out and rubbed out and not taught to the children. There used to be fucking huge fucking dragons. And there were fucking giant humans too. And giant fucking animals. Long fucking time ago. One would have to start going to Mud Fossil University YouTube channel. Mud Fossil University. That brother will start fucking revealing all the ancient writers. And it was common in all cultures. Cultures that didn't even know each other. They all wrote the same fucking thing was going on the earth. Cultures thousands of miles fucking apart. Their ancient writings were all saying the same fucking thing. But it's not taught to the children. Because it has been purposely snuffed out and shoved aside and said, oh, that's fantasy. That's all fantasy. And so there is an energy in the universe that could be responsible for snuffing it out. And it could be the same energy that was reported in these old ancient scripts called Zeus with his lightning bolt. Okay? The boy energy that kicked the fuck out of the queen and her children. It's the same fucking thing going on in society that was going on way the fuck a long time ago. It's the same fucking universal energy through self-observance that this fucker in the backyard here, Springfield, Oregon, radios out. Broadcast, all natural radio show, right from the fucking backyard. As though it's just a regular conversation. Don't need no fucking FCC fucking regulation or a certificate or someone's permission to speak the information out. To sheriff. To be a real sheriff. A lawful sheriff. And present evidence for consideration. Think on these things. Ow! It's just not saying that this is going on now. Not saying that this is exactly what's going on, and you better listen to what I have to say. I'm going to hurt you. You know, which is predominantly what goes on with a bully, universal bully energy. It's you better listen to what I have to say, and don't you even dare bring that shit up. We don't talk about that. No. You just do what you're fucking told. Say what we tell you to say, and that's fucking it. Okay. Now, just self-observing and seeing the society, how it's functioning, obviously it's functioning like that. It's so fucking obvious. But could be wrong. This could all be a hologram, a simulation. It could all be something else besides the self-observance that this sheriff evidentially brings forth. Lawful sheriff. But it is the information that so passionately wants to come forth. It is the information, the evidence that so passionately wants to come forth. Not to destroy every fucking thing. Not to try to put someone in their fucking place and all that other bully shit that happens, which is just another word for unconsciousness. A bully situation is just unconsciousness. And it's not a bad thing. It's not, being a bully or unconscious isn't all a bad thing. It could be now. Remember, could be. That's the most general presentation to enjoy. It's always a could be. There's the option to consider it instead of being forced to consider something. That's the difference between law and legalism. Although legal is in there too, but legal, when it goes overboard, turns into legalism, which is mud stuck and abusive with the situation. Mud stuck and abusive. Which, lawfully looking at that, the audit comes forth naturally and says, after all the examination that there is, this lawful sheriff, universal lawful sheriff, says, well, all right, here's an audit on that then. Here, it could be just unconsciousness, which is something natural. Something very natural. It would be like a universe that's just naturally growing up. And all these mistakes and all this hard pain and suffering and forced rape and pedophile, all the shit that goes on, hardly anyone wants to really talk about because they're not educated enough to be able to hold the conversation or advance it. All that shit comes into play. It's just natural. A natural universal growth called unconsciousness that slowly, could be now, not saying that it is, it could be an unconscious universal energy that's slowly but surely growing up. Could be. Whew, that's quite a broadcast for today's today's spontaneous ejaculative radio show. That's a lot of fucking woo. That's called repetition. That's called getting strong. Woo. That's strengthening agency right there. Strengthening agents. You know, strengthening agent in the air. It's just energy in the air that can be obtained. Speaking generally. So that no one thinks, so that a living organism doesn't think, oh, well, I guess I should be getting strong too, huh? I guess I feel the need, I feel a debt, I feel force now that I need to get strong just because the energy's in the air. Well, generally speaking, the energy's in the air, it's just there. It's there for any living organism with the option, with option with it. Now, if predominantly in the legalism society, the way it's been running, it's going to be the king's going to step in and says the energy's in the air. You need to obtain it, or else you're going to stay weak. You better obtain this information so you can get strong. We're going to have no fucking weaklings around here in the clan. You got that? Huh? That is the warrior bully. Could be now. That is the warrior bully, mudstuck, abusive, force, rape, pedophile situation on the dark side that is very hard. Could be. Everything generally is a could be. But it has to be said over and over and over, because unconsciousness is so easily locked into any story at any time. That's the way unconsciousness is. So fucking easy to get locked in from minute to minute. Be like set free for 1 minute, then the next minute something else is presented, and all of a sudden locked right back down. Locked in. Could be. That's that. Could be is a very, very liberating phrase to always repeat and remember to say that and train to say that anytime anything is presented. Could be. Could be. That keeps equilibrium open all the time. It could be. Until more is known and more transparency to be able to see more clear, it's just a could be. And that could be a wonderful philosophy to supplement with public education amongst all the education that says, no, it's this way and this way only. There's nothing more to expect in this life but taxes and death, and that's it, sucker. and then when equilibrium comes along, which is the queen energy that bears the children, she said, "Ah, king, there's more to learn here, precious king. There's more to learn here than being stuck in one way, abusively, always stepping on and stamping out everything." And then when the children start to hear the queen speaking up, then the children start to see a little more clearly, then the children start speaking up, saying the same thing. Now the king's listening to the queen and the children, constantly all the time. And then consideration to the unconsciousness starts to want to grow. It could be that there's another way to live besides the way that's been functioning. Could be. And if there is, then share the if. That would be the universal syllables. Sheriff. Whee! That's something to get the bull rider all excited with right there. started getting friendly with the bull instead of trying to get the bull to be its fucking slave. Do what I tell you to do, bull. 2,000 pounds slams the cowboy up against the side of the fence. I got something to share with you. 2,000 pounds of information here. And the cowboy ain't got it yet. And here comes the next cowboy hoping he can just tame the fuck out of the wild. And the wild says, here's another lesson, cowboy. I don't think any living organism enjoys someone getting on their fucking back, throwing ropes all over and telling them what to fucking do. I don't think any living organism in the right fucking mind, pure sand, would enjoy that. Shit, that's so fucking obvious. But it's just there could be some bulls that just love to have their backs jumped on and forced around to do. Eventually, I'm going to tame this bull and I'm going to ride it around town like we tamed all the horses. Remember back in the old days, horses didn't want to be tamed. They brought them fucking cowboys up. The cowboys get that and shit that. So now they're trying to do the same thing to all the bulls. Well, give them enough time, they probably will succeed in their goals. Could be, who knows? Maybe that's the last straw, though. Maybe that's never gonna fucking happen. Could be. Maybe the bull's just a wee bit too got too much girl queen energy with children. Saying, nah, I don't think so. We're gonna have a revelation here, cowboy. Right? Could be. Like a rainbow pop up out of fucking nowhere. Sun come out. Nice radio program. On that radio program. And look, it's virtually a double rainbow. Double one. Pop right up out of the fucking sky and go down. There's a slight jump. Could that be some type of manipulated sign or a natural sign? Could be. Well, out of the blue wonder popped up a spontaneous ejaculated radio show. Brother almost wanted to say Ted Nugent style radio show. It ejaculated all over the backyard. That all natural spurting energy just ejaculated all over the fucking place. But the squirting energy, that comes from the girl energy. Remember, the girl energy has ejaculation energy that keeps going and going and going and going. Men are usually known, boys are usually known to be able to only ejaculate once or twice, maybe 3 times if they're lucky, 7 times if they really force it. But a girl can keep going and going as long as she got a bottle of water or a pitcher or a river to drink from. She can ejaculate, squirt, 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 squirt over and over. I saw this one girl on the fucking cameras on fucking internet. She was squirting for an hour straight every 10 fucking minutes in the back of her fucking van on camera. And the brother, after an hour, the brother went and watched something else because she was still going at it. And she wasn't the only one this brother seen squirt over and over and over. That the brother says that so that there's some attainment to realize that the ejaculated energy that a girl has that keeps coming over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Probably because it hasn't been recognized for. The energy has not been recognized. It's always been the king energy that's been recognized, which is just an ejaculation 1 or 2 times and that's it. It's all over. But the girl, and it's always been recognized. Oh yeah, king shot off. No problem. He gave his order and we're going to abide by his order. He ejaculated a couple orders and words, and that's the words the king's final say, and so everybody obeys him. And here comes the queen. She just starts ejaculating over and over, and she ain't going on and on about you better do what I tell you to fucking do. She's all with the encouragement, each to the revelation that there's evidentially to bring, and bring it all. Anyway, that's good enough. I'll just keep that there for right now. Brother just wanted to get some of that lovely kindling and sawdust sifted and separated just for that area right there. Brother's gonna share something here. This brother gonna share something here. That's the first fucking time a rainbow has showed up in this area that this brother has seen, this Sicily brother. That's the first time a rainbow has shown up like that in fucking years. I'm telling you straight the fuck up. Last time a rainbow like that was seen here that this sisterly brother saw. Not saying that it hasn't happened. That's the first time. It was back around 2007. This is 2025. That was 18 fucking years ago. 18 fucking years ago. And the brother has been looking for one, hoping for one to show up. And look, there it is, kind of a little bit more showing up over there, just a little bit. First time in 18 fucking years. And especially it being darn near a double rainbow. That was fucking darn near a double fucking rainbow. The second one was just faint. The second one was faint. 18 fucking years. and it popped up on today's radio program. Whether it's an artificial sign that some weather controller popped up there because someone in the military knows how to press buttons and manipulate weather and cause all kinds of shit to happen. Or it was, and that when the brother says military, that also includes aliens and extraterrestrials. Military. Wherever the fuck's out in outer space. Without the what's in your wallet, Everything that's out there in outer space or beyond the perimeters, or who the fuck knows, right? Well, that would be Doctor Who. Doctor Who, he runs the World Health Organization. He knows a whole bunch of shit going on because he's got non-disclosure contracts signed with extraterrestrial Vatican connections, right? Doctor Who. Who the fuck knows? Well, who probably knows more than a whole bunch of fuckers around. But he can't say anything because his lips are locked shut. And that could be unconsciousness. That could be the reason why he can't say a fucking thing, because he's just still growing up. It's still just a little tiny. Could be. That's nothing to be ashamed with. Although one could get offended with it. How dare you mention that it could be this? How dare you mention that I could be just a little tiny? How dare you? Then this gets right back into unconsciousness. Looking around with bully, mud-stuck, abusive, pedophile, raping, bully energy that goes on and has been going on for a while through self-observation, it would naturally say that shit. It would naturally say that. How dare you even consider bringing anything? We don't entertain any of that evidence around here that I could be this and I could be that, right? And then the queen comes along and says, "Now, honey, now we and the children have been conversating, sharing ideas here. We got to have the evidence to bring here. And so that consciousness can grow here, universally speaking. Now remember, King, you ain't being singled out as the only one and the only one to blame here. Actually, King, there's nothing to blame and no one to blame. It's just a natural, universal function to learn to get to accept for value and live with." What is this new evidence I'm hearing? You mean to tell me that no one's out to get me? No one's out to lock me up and burn me at the stake here? Well, this might be worth looking into, my dear, honey, and children. Because usually that's all it comes down to is it's straight up fear that keeps unconsciousness locked in. The fear of fucking pain and suffering. The pain and the straight up fucking fear with pain and suffering. Thinking, oh shit, I've been such an idiot all my fucking life. And everyone's going to want to fucking drag me through the fucking courts, find me guilty, and string me up by the nearest flaming rope. Which again is also part of unconsciousness, for most of the living organisms are still entertaining a whole bunch of unconsciousness. If there is that mindset that's being used throughout the existence, then it's obvious that even the very ones that the king are afraid of, which is the people, are just as unconscious as the fucking king. Wow! Could be. Yeah, could be. Evidence to consider. It could be. And if so, then share if. Yeah. trained to be a conscious, lawful sheriff? If so, then sheriff, train to be a lawful, conscious sheriff. And that would be a whole new fucking town talk being trained with. Woo! Wow! Another wonderful Hollywood rehearsal that has capacity to be brought forth through theater. Wow! Wow! With music, also known as Hollywood opera. Wow! Ooh! Anyway, it's been an hour and 1 minute and 21 seconds. Bull finger.